Nick Hilkins just come back from London State University. It was West Ham 4, Doncaster 0. Matt, a more comfortable win than I thought that would be. They didn't make it uncomfortable for us at all.
I think, mate, everything that I've seen on Twitter or the most common quote I've seen is professional performance. I think most people refer to it as that. I mean, and there's not really much else you can say, mate. I mean, yes, it was Doncaster, but like you said, it could have been a lot trickier. We looked organised. We did exactly what we need to do, And it's nice that these kind of performances and results are allowing us to be really optimistic, No real...
Listen,
no
won every game since the new year. We're going in with a bit of confidence, mate.
Listen, I mean, Moyes has developed this new culture in the club. Slowly he's been changing it, turning it around. And I'd kind of call it a culture of excellence, you know what I mean? Where the players are held accountable, not only for their talent, but for the hard work, And you can tell that by the guys that he's brought in, And it just seems like everybody knows what is expected of them. And these high expectations that they're being held to are giving us through. I mean, look at the lineup today. I mean, I honestly, I love the lineup. I thought it was a perfect mixture between first team players and some youngsters and squad players. Taking the cup seriously was nice to see. We took the game with respect, and obviously resting key people for that big game with Palace. That we've got on Tuesday.
What do you think of Yarmolenko up front tonight?
Listen, you know what? I mean, he's one of these guys that is. I think he's going to be the next Haller, for us splitting the fan base. If it's not Haller, it's Fornals, and now it's going to be Yarmolenko. Look, it was nice to see him get 90 minutes. That's the main thing, to get a complete run out. And I think the three behind him played well off him. Saw him tracking back a bit more. Glad he got his goal. You can't knock his talent. It's like a Haller. You can't knock the skill he's got. I think he's better centrally than on the wing, because I think on the wing, he has caused us a few issues with those things, and it leaves us less exposed. The only thing I will say is that, I mean, it was nice also that he built on that last performance from last week, because I really like that cushion down header that he did for Antonio's goal. In the last game, I thought that was something that we've not seen so much of him. But I will say one thing. I really do think that Lanzini and Yarmolenko, the injuries that they had, mean that we're really never going to see the best of them. I mean, two players that I think, good squad players, but I really just don't think that they're going to be able to push on and offer us something. I mean, what do you think about Yarmolenko?
Well, I'll be honest. I thought he played quite well tonight. I like him more centrally than I do on the wing. As I said, I've been saying this in the build-up. I'd like to see him giving a go up front. He's got a lovely goal, lovely finish. But I do think you're right. I think injuries are catching up with both him and Lanzini. But what I would say, Matt, is I don't want this to deter from the fact that we need a centre forward, because the young lad come on and scored a goal as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know a lot about him, but from what I've read, he's behind Odubeku in the standings, in the youth teams. So I mean, it's nice. I mean, he's 23. He's not exactly young, but I mean, he did what he needed to do. He's a striker. He came on, big game and got a goal. I mean, so I mean, you got to give a chance. But unfortunately, we don't really have good history with these young guys coming up from the youth teams. Look at Tony Martinez and guys like that, I mean? So, I mean, hopefully we can make a big change here, mate, and get some young strikers coming through. But like you say, we do need someone to come. Shame that Odubeku couldn't start. But, one thing I will say is we got to go for next round. I really hope, mate, that we get, whether we get Man United or Liverpool, but I really hope we get Liverpool. Why? Because in February they got City, they got Everton, they got Leicester, and they got that big game against Leipzig, in the Champions League, just a few days after the next round. So I think, mate, they're going to be resting a few people. So I really think we have a scarily good chance of getting, all the way through.
If we get, I mean, we get ourselves to the quarterfinals, that'd be the one after this one. The thing I do like about this, going into that game, I mean, we've obviously got, I think the next round's just before February, if I'm right. I may be wrong, but it might be in February. But nobody's actually pulled away in the league. There's nobody like so far ahead. Like you'd fear playing Liverpool if they was 20 points clear, because they could afford to play a strong team and then lose a game or two in the league to make sure they get a domestic cup. Klopp doesn't really take the cup seriously. Man United are going to be looking at their position in the league and thinking, we don't want to let this one slip. It's been a long time now since we've won the league.
Exactly.
A long time for a club like Man United. I fancy us. Matt. I really do.
No, I agree with you 100%, mate. I really think the thing is that we've got this optimism, that we've not had for so long. I mean, because whoever you put us up against, we do a job. I mean, there's not been any game that we've been dominated. Okay, some games we haven't lost, but we've picked up 5 on the bounce, mate, in all competitions. I mean, when was the last time we said that? And even though, I mean, we go up against Palace. It's one of those teams like Everton that sometimes complicate for us. Everton, I mean, we beat Everton, and we go against Palace and we're confident. I mean, we're in, as fans, mate, we're in such a wonderful position, though, and full credit to Moyes and the boys there and the players. I mean, because it's really nice, especially as, like you say, this year is really complicated in the league, and if we keep this up, who knows what we're going to be talking about at the end of the season. And I really, really, really hope, like you said, mate, that, well, like I mentioned as well in the last one, that we take the summer seriously. That really, if we can continue this and Moyes can do a good job, get a good position, that they really sit down with Moyes, see what he needs, and really not throw the money at it like we have done recently, just, willy-nilly, but really just say to him, who do you need to improve? Where do you need to improve? What kind of players you're looking at? And let's see what we can do. Because we don't have a lot of resale value in the players. I mean, a guy like Yarmolenko or Lanzini, we're not going to get a lot of money selling them. Or, I mean, the only real player we've got is of high value is Rice. And of course, hell or high water before we sell him, though.
Absolutely. Matt, thank you very much for coming on, mate. Really appreciate it.
Have a nice weekend, mate. Take care of yourself.
And you, mate. Goodbye.